today my video is going to be a little bit different. It's not going to have one of my workouts on it. I wanted to address something that I've been getting asked a lot. And up and coming are a couple of videos. I'm going to do like a new series now that nationals are over. So those are coming soon, but something I wanted to get to before we got there. I've been getting asked a lot why I work out so much. And I know that seems like a silly question, but people who maybe see me in the gym every day and didn't know I was training for a competition or aren't sure what my goals are, that's just a question that I feel like gets thrown around as a general statement a lot. Like, hey, why do you work out so much? Or, hey, you're skinny. Why are you still here? So I just wanted to not really rant, but give some of my thoughts on this and kind of share my perspective with some people who may not know, who may think that I'm just obsessed with the gym and can't get out of there. So let us begin. First of all, yes, I was training for a competition, so I did have a very specific goal in mind, and I think it's very important that when you set goals, they need to be set according to achievable outcomes, right? So things that you can, number one, control, and number two, measure. Those are the two things for me. I have to be able to control it, and I have to be able to measure it. So if it's something that I can't control, right, like winning first place at something, or something of that sort, that's not really a thing I can control about myself. Now, I can control what I do and how I finish, right? But I can't control maybe the other people that are there, maybe what the judging is like. I cannot control if my goal was to run a race, for example, a foot race, and to be first place in that race. Well, that's not a good goal, sorry, because I cannot control maybe the other people that show up there. There might be an Olympic runner at that race, and they just might be faster than me. And that's a hard fact for some people to face. Sometimes you can do everything in your power. You can give something 100% and it's just not good enough. And so my number one rule is that it needs to be something I can control. The second rule when I set goals is it needs to be something measurable, right? So I can actually tangibly tell that I've reached my goal. So for example, this last show, my goals were to look better than I have ever looked at a show before. And those came down to some specifics. Like I wanted some things about my abs to change. I had some small things about my arms and my shoulders getting bigger that I wanted to change. And so it was a lot of like very small detail proportional stuff, but it was things I could measure quite literally with a measuring tape. Like my from here to here got wider and my biceps got a little bit bigger. Things like that, because I know that when I deplete, my muscles look smaller and I wanted to look more proportional on stage. So there's some things like that. But I think it's important, number one, to set a goal that is attainable and under your control and something you can measure. So that being said, I had set a goal and that required me to go to the gym and put in certain work then towards that goal. So you make a goal and then underneath it, you create a list of tasks that if you do them and you complete those small tasks one by one every single day, you are then going to achieve your goal, period. That's how that should be set. Then, when you do reach your goal, it's a sense of achievement, not a, oh darn it, I didn't win, or oh darn it, I didn't get first place, because that's not a goal, right? That is a maybe, yes, ideal, or yes, you want that, or you really want a trophy or a medal or whatever, but that's not a goal, people. That's a whole nother thing. You can't control those outcomes. Okay, so then when I've created my little list of tasks, like in order for my shoulders and my arms to get bigger, I'm going to have to lift those heavier during off season. Anytime I have a free day or I'm not quite tired yet, I can do a couple more sets, I'm immediately going to go to my shoulders and my arms. Or this year, my hamstrings, because last year I was very quad dominant. I always have been because I grew up a runner. That was my first thing that I did, and so for some reason my quads developed before my hamstrings, and in bodybuilding it's all about symmetry. So this year my coach helped me tailor my workouts to where it was a lot more focused on hamstring and a lot less on quads. My quads were already fine, they're already big enough. I needed to develop my hamstrings, make it more even. So once you've created those goals and you've created steps to go along with those goals, then everything else comes down to teeny tiny decisions. Minuscule decisions that you make every single day. So the first one is to get your butt up out of bed and go to the gym. And I'll tell you, that's the one that I think is the fastest to go out the window. I started a new job this year, and I remember at one point thinking to myself, this is really hard. Like, it is really legitimately hard for me to work 12 or 14 hours a day and then drag my butt to the gym afterwards because I literally cannot go in the morning. I tried it one time. I had to get up at 3:30 to make it to the gym before work. That does not work. But sometimes it is so hard to get up at 5:30 in the morning, go to work for 14 hours, go to the gym, get home at 9:30, cook food for the next day, and go to bed. And that's it, guys. Like, that's a decision, though, that I had to make every single day because I knew it was in my checklist of things to reach a goal. So that's part of why I'm in the gym all the time, is because it is on a list. It is on a very calculated list of goals for me. And if you don't know me personally, which most of you do because I don't have tons of followers on here, but I'm so much of a checklister, it's ridiculous. Like, I have a checklist to remember to get my checklist to take it to work. Not really. That was a little bit overkill. But that is how much I like to see things kind of written out in a detailed way, because I tend to do a better job with things if I can see them in front of me. So that's part of why I'm at the gym. So one of my small decisions every day is that I have to wake up and I have to go to the gym. I have to, guys. And people make fun of me, and people say, well, can't you skip one day, or can't you just? That is the thing I hear, guys, more than maybe any single phrase in the human language. Can't you just? Can't you just skip the gym today? Can't you just have one piece of pizza? Can't you just have one cupcake? It is a bridal shower. Can't you just have one drink? Can't you just skip it this one time? Can't you just for this one? No, guys, I literally cannot. No, I cannot just do that. I made a list. I have a goal and a checklist of things to do. So the reason that I can't just blank is because if I did that every time someone said, can't you just, I would have failed at my goals 387 times by the time my show got here. Probably more, to be honest. Really, seriously, probably more than that. It is unreal. Can't you just? Now, that aside, I try to be really, really patient with people because I do understand that the way that I do things, prepping for a show, okay, is different than what other people do in their daily lives. And people don't like that. People don't like that. People don't like to look at you and realize that you are doing something, you're making choices that they're not making, you're doing things they're not doing. And it's not because I don't think they think that what I do is wrong or bad. I just think it's lack of understanding. People don't understand how much work this takes. Now, there might be some people out there who wake up in the morning and they've got a ripped six-pack of abs, and guys, that's not me. I have to work for that every single day. It's choices. It's making the choice to get up and go to the gym, like we talked about. It's making the choice to eat, like, fish. Guys, I hate tilapia. I hate it more than anything in the world. But when I'm on show prep and I'm close to a competition or close to something, or I know I need to lean out, sometimes if that's my goal, okay, then my actions have to reflect my goal. It doesn't matter that I hate to eat it. It doesn't matter that it doesn't taste good. And that stinks. That's not fun for me. Like, I don't like tilapia. I don't like to eat it. It's not fun, but that's a step to achieving my goal. So then at that point it becomes, you either choose to reach your goal and take the necessary steps to get you there, or you choose that, okay, I don't really want this goal anymore. Like, it's not worth it. And I have talked to several people who ask me, hey, what do you do? What kind of things do you do? And they have looked me, I've had 4 people look me dead in the eyes and say, yeah, it's not worth it. I don't want to do that. And that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. I would be shocked if lots of people wanted to do what I do. It's not always glamorous. It's not ever fun. I mean, it is sometimes fun, but it's not always fun. It's hard work. And so it's not a thing that you should expect everyone to want to do. But that being said, if it's a goal of mine, that's why I can't just bend the rules this once or just do this once. That's why I'm sorry, friends, that I can't go out with you and enjoy drinks all the time, because I just can't. I can't. Now, those of you who also know me, aside from being a checklister, know that once I get something in my head, it's pretty stuck in there. It's not going anywhere. I might take a long time to actually make a concrete decision, but once I've made it, it's really hard to change my mind. I don't know what it is about me. It's probably I get it from my dad. He's stubborn. But as soon as I made a decision, like, that's it. I'm doing it. So I tend to go all in. I don't like to waste effort. My roommate, Megan, always makes fun of me because I don't waste any effort outside of the gym. Like, I'll lift all these heavy things. I'll do this insane HIIT workout or cardio routine. I'll spend 3 hours or 4 hours sometimes in the gym, and I'll just be hammering stuff out. But then I get home and, like, I don't even want to move a chair across the room. Like, I don't want to do anything. I don't want to expand any extra effort. So I don't think it's a matter of being lazy or dedicated. Just because someone doesn't spend as much time as me at the gym does not make them a lazy person. It just means that their goals are different, and that's fine. Like, I am not shocked at all that some people would rather go out with friends and, like, have a social life than do what I do. Matter of fact, I think that's much more of a normal thing. But it's also the reason why, no, I can't do some of the things that other people can do on a regular basis. So, back to why I'm in the gym all the time. That's part of it, right? So it's one of my goals, or it's one of my steps that leads to a goal. That's kind of the number one reason I'm in the gym. Also, obviously, I enjoy it. I've always worked out. I've always been doing something with health and fitness from the time I was a young kid, but I never really got it. Like, it never really clicked to me. I never found what worked for me, I guess, until I was a lot older. And so I think for a lot of people don't go through that many failed attempts to try to be healthy. I mean, maybe they do. And I know a lot of people go through a lot of failed attempts, but I know I started watching what I ate in the 8th grade, right? And I didn't have a flat stomach like the other girls. And when you're in middle school, there's girls out there who, like, legitimately have, like, the flattest pancake stomachs because, hey, guess what? They're in middle school and they shouldn't have fat yet. But I used to just wonder why I could never look like that. So I started kind of watching what I ate and trying to be healthy. And, when I got into high school, I ran cross country. So then I ate a whole lot and I ran a whole lot. And so it was okay. Well, the problem is when I stopped, I only ran cross country my freshman year. So when I stopped doing that, I was trying to find a way to, I guess, justify what I had, the eating habits I had developed. I ate a lot, and I ate not good food. And, I used to wonder, why can't I look this way, and why can't I? Well, I had a Snickers bar every single day during one of my passing periods. I ate terribly, and I didn't know. And obviously, one Snickers bar is not the end of the world, but y'all, I really did. I did not eat good at all. I ate whatever I wanted. And why? Because I ran. And so I felt like, well, I deserve to eat whatever I want because I'm putting in all this effort. So I worked out to earn my food. That's how I saw it. And that's a little bit sad, especially for someone at such a young age. So I really wish a lot of times that someone had kind of sat me down and showed me how things work and showed me that, no, there's a healthy balance to both. Like, you can eat things that you enjoy and you can work out, but they don't have to be, you don't have to work out just to eat, and you don't have to not eat if you forget to work out. And that's an unhealthy cycle, guys, that I think a lot of girls get into. So I'll come back to that in another video, but that needs to be addressed on a whole separate thing. So when I'm at the gym, though, guys, like, everyone has something, okay? Everyone's addicted to something. Everyone's got something that they do. And so on that, if you want to take the extremist approach and tell me that I'm addicted to the gym, fine. I mean, that doesn't offend me because that's okay. Like, right? Like, there's worse things, and if that's my thing, fine. But on the flip side, the way I see it, and the way that I'm afraid not enough people see this is, I learned, I don't know about anyone else, and I don't want to step on any toes, but I learned that in the scripture that we're supposed to take care of our mind, body, and spirit, right? Those are the three parts of the human body that our God tells us to take care of. Mind, body, and spirit. Those are supposed to be equal parts. So we work on our spirit, at least most of us. We go to church, we do those things. We worship the Lord, we read the Bible, we do our devotionals. That's important to most people. I think people would find it hard to come up to me and say, oh, Chandler, you need to read your Bible less. I think you're spending too much time with that. You're getting a little obsessed. You need to stop diving into the Word of God. No one's going to say that because it's ridiculous. That's the thing we want to develop. Matter of fact, most people would say, she needs to go to church more. She needs to do more good things with what she has. She needs to serve the Lord. She needs to go on more missions. That's fine. Yes, we are supposed to do that. That's the spirit. Mind, body, spirit. Okay, mind. We work on this all the time, right? Like we go to psychiatrists. We do all these things. Matter of fact, work. We go to work. We do all these things at work. And I would just like to take a quick little tangent on work for a minute. There are so many people that take their job as the end-all be-all of this world. Jobs are so important. They really are. And you have to have a steady job. You have to have something that you can do long-term, you enjoy doing, that is fulfilling a greater purpose than just yourself, right? All those things are great, and it makes you money. You have to make money, guys, and that is for several reasons, right? To send your kids to college, to keep your own self going, to have food on the table, right? But also to give back to God, to contribute to that spiritual side, to do good things with your life. So in my opinion, and everyone else can have their own, but in my opinion, the reason I work is to do good things in my life, right? If I'm just working for money, that is a waste. That is a waste, because what does that get you? I heard a motivational speaker once. I listen to motivational speeches while I work out. I used to listen to music, and I just found that sometimes I like to listen to people speak. And at one point I heard a motivational speaker talking about, what is the point of working for money at a job that you hate so that you can then pay for things to get away from the job that you hate, like vacations, right? Or so that you can retire earlier. Like, why would you work for 50 years to get out of working? Like, do something else. Anyways, so we have mind, body, and spirit. And I think that so many people get so trapped, focusing on, like, work. And it just baffles me, really and truly, that you could spend hours behind a desk, like 14, 16, however many it is. And some people hate their jobs. Some people hate everything about their jobs. Every time they wake up to go in the morning, they're upset about it. They're not happy when they come home. It's hard. That's why it's called work, right? That's the definition of the word. Now, it's necessary. But then how can you dedicate no time to your body? Right? If this is a 3-part system, mind, body, and spirit, how can you spend all this time under stress, under pressure, doing all these things for anyone else besides yourself, right? And then you just come home and you sulk about it and are depressed about it, and you go to sleep and you wake up and do it again the next day. So that doesn't work. That does not work for me. I go to the gym, I relieve my stress. That is time for me. That's time for whatever it is I need that day, right? If I just need to release, like, physically some stress, fine. I've got that. If I need to spend time in prayer, I get on the treadmill and I read on my iPad. I read through the Bible. I read through my Bible studies. I listen to speakers or preachers or podcasts, like whatever it is that I need for my mental clarity and my physical clarity that day. I am taking care of it at the gym because that's my outlet. That's how I take care of my body. I feed my body good food. No, I'm not perfect. No one is perfect, but I try really hard to pick out things that are clean that will help fuel me so that I can take care of the body that I was blessed with, so that I can use it to serve the Lord. Whatever that is, whether that's teaching kids, whether that's teaching adults, whether that's helping someone else know what I know, whether that's talking to that high school girl who's me 10 years earlier and who doesn't have a clue about it and who doesn't eat enough food because she doesn't want to gain weight or she wants to look skinny in that dress, or her boyfriend called her fat this week and doesn't understand the concept of health. And so to me, I just think that we get so lopsided. We get so lopsided that we don't take care of ourselves at all. And not in a selfish way. This is not in a selfish, like, vein. I want to have abs. I want to have biceps. I want to be skinny. That is not what I'm talking about. But I feel that 99% of the population will never understand how their body was designed to function. Like, they'll never feel that. It's an incredible feeling when you reach a certain level of health and fitness that you suddenly have this epiphany like, oh my goodness. Like, God really did design my body to do amazing things. Like, I can't even begin to fathom how well this machine runs now because I'm taking care of it. And I'm taking care of it in the hopes that it will propel me into other things. It will give me the ability to help other people do things, become things, understand things, know things that they couldn't before. So that's why I'm in the gym so much. For those of you who've asked, or for those of you who haven't asked, but maybe someone's asked you, I really believe that if you aren't taking care of your mind, your body, and your spirit, that you're not doing what you've been called to do. And unfortunately, the world that we're in traps us. It really does. It traps us into, working endless hours and not really getting any of that time back for us or for our families or for our friends. I think that we get trapped in a lot of ways. I think that people get stuck in habits. It's easier to come home and watch TV and order pizza. It just is. And it's more relaxing. I get that. But I can promise you that I've never felt better doing that than I have after the gym. Like, it might be painful to get there. It's painful to get there a lot. There are times I drag my feet in. I complain, y'all. I'm walking in. I complain to anyone who will listen to me about how hard my workout's going to be that day because it is. But when I leave there, I know I've accomplished something. I know I'm closer to a goal that I've set. I know that I'm taking care of something that I only get one of, right? Like, if I pollute this body or if I don't take care of it and I let things get out of hand, this is the only one I've got. I can't just go buy another one. It's not a car. Once I total it, I can't just go to the dealership and say, "Whoo, guys, I messed that up. Okay, I'm going to work out this time. Let's trade her in for a new one." It doesn't work that way. And so I feel like I've been very blessed to have understood some of the health and fitness things that I did from a younger age than most. And, honestly, I say this a lot, but I think I'm blessed that it was harder for me than it was for most. I was never that naturally thin kid. I'm still not that naturally thin kid. So I guess my main takeaway is that I do have a reason for being in the gym a lot. It is really important for me. It's a passion of mine. I'm hoping to inspire other people, to help other people, to maybe give guidance to people who wouldn't have it otherwise, and maybe to prevent some people from making some of the mistakes that I made. But most importantly, I feel like the more I take care of my body, the more I take care of my mind and my spirit, the more I can serve God the way that I was supposed to in this life instead of getting trapped behind a desk and really getting disillusioned and pulled into thinking that that's my greater purpose, because it's just not. So anyways, I hope you guys have enjoyed. I know this was long. I know this was a rant. There is a new series coming. I really hope you'll check it out. Bye.